I used to think dungeons were just movie exaggerations, cold, damp rooms under castles. But then I found a record from 1315, a note written by a monk. He wrote, "At night, the walls tremble with cries of those who no longer exist." That one line changed everything I thought I knew about the Middle Ages. Because what I found next wasn't fiction, it was worse. This is the truth about dungeons and torture chambers. Imagine walking through a 14th century castle. The floors above echo with music and laughter, nobles feasting, cups clinking. But beneath your feet, a different sound, dripping water, rattling iron, and silence so thick it feels alive. These weren't just prisons. They were theaters of fear, places designed to break not just bones, but souls. The idea of a torture chamber didn't start with Hollywood. It began with power, fear as a weapon. Kings, inquisitors, even local sheriffs used it not only to punish, but to send a message: disobey, and this could be you. Devices like the rack, the pair of anguish, or the Iron Maiden, some real, some later exaggerations, became symbols of control. But one truth stood firm: the human imagination was the cruelest instrument of all. One of the most haunting records comes from France, the story of a blacksmith named Etienne. Accused of hiding a thief, he was taken to the dungeons of Toulouse. For 3 days, he refused to confess. By the 4th, he begged for mercy, not because he was guilty, but because he could no longer bear to hear the screams of others. When the guards opened his cell, he was gone. Some say he escaped. Others whisper, he simply disappeared. Why build such places? Because fear was more powerful than armies. A whisper of what happened below could make an entire town obey. The dungeon wasn't just physical, it was psychological warfare. Every chain, every scream, every flicker of torchlight was a warning written in sound. By the 1600s, dungeons became symbols of corruption. Writers and reformers used them as proof of tyranny, demanding justice, light, and reason. And slowly, the chains rusted. The doors were sealed, but the stories remained. Even today, when tourists walk through those cold stone corridors, they say they can feel it, the weight of centuries of pain pressing through the air. Movies show dungeons as bloody horror rooms, but truth is, not every castle had one. Some dungeons were storage rooms, others for political prisoners. Yet the myth grew because we need symbols of evil, places to project our darkest fears. Maybe that's why we're still drawn to them today. Because deep down, we want to understand how ordinary people once justified extraordinary cruelty. Next time you visit a castle, listen, not for ghosts, but for silence. Because in that silence lies history's loudest warning. If you found this story eye-opening, subscribe. There's so much the past has hidden from us, and I'm here to uncover it.